What's a story, amigos? This is Kino with some cool stories for today's story time.
Our first story is about the wild adventures of a little boy. Then, Horton is a hero in this Dr. Seuss story.
I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful, 100%.
Major funding for Storytime is made possible by a grant from Helen and Peter Bain, so that families everywhere can share the joy of reading with their children. Additional funding is provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, by the annual financial support from viewers like you, and by the National Endowment for Children's Educational Television.
There we go. Oh, brother. Oh, man. Talk about your heavy reading. Now, let me see if... Aha!
Oh, hi, Kino.
Hi, Mara.
Do you need something, Kino?
No, nothing. You finished yet?
Not yet.
Oh. Finished?
Not yet.
Oh.
Do you want a sip, Kino?
Oh, sure. Hey, yeah,
Oh,
thanks.
okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, I happen to have an
Yeah,
extra straw.
yeah.
Here you go.
Oh, great. All done. May I have the can? Thanks, Mara.
That wasn't exactly a sip.
Oh, I forgot to ask you. Are you finished with that newspaper there yet?
No. No. Are you thinking of eating it, too?
Oh, no. No. I'm sorry I finished your soda, Mara, but see, we're having a recycling drive at school to raise money for new library books, and I promised that I'd collect 2 big trash cans of aluminum cans, 20 milk jugs, and a pile of newspapers as tall as I am. That's a lot of stuff.
Oh, it sure is, but you know, recycling is very important.
Yeah. Still, boy, it just makes me tired thinking about all I have to collect. Being a second grader is hard work.
Well, being a big boy gives you a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave you alone to finish your newspaper.
Okay. Hey, wait a minute, Kino. Don't you want to hear a story?
Huh? A story?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Hey, stories give me energy, and I could use some extra energy right now.
Okay, let's hear one.
Too. You know, my daughter goes to school here, too, Mavis. She's 2.5. So that's how I even know about you guys and that you wanted to hear a book today.
What's that?
That's a turtle. I'll tell you about this whole book. Look at it. It's called That's Good, That's Bad. And it's written by Marjorie Kyler, and the pictures are by David Catrow. Let's see what happens. One day, a little boy went to the zoo with his mother and father. They bought him a shiny red balloon. It lifted him high up into the sky. Wow. Oh, that's good. No, that's bad. The balloon drifted and drifted for miles and miles until it came to a hot, steamy jungle. It broke on the branch of a tall, prickly tree. Pop! Oh, that's bad.
No,
That's good. The little boy fell into a muddy river. Splat! He climbed up onto a roly-poly hippopotamus and rode to shore. Giddy up! Oh, that's good. No, that's bad. 10 noisy baboons were squabbling in the grass by the river. They chased the little boy up a tree until he was out of breath. Oh, that's bad. No, that's good. The baboons wanted to play vine swing with the little boy. What fun! The little boy grabbed a vine and swung out of their reach. Whee! Oh, that's good. No, that's bad. The vine was a big, scary snake that wiggled and jiggled and hissed. Oh, that's bad. No, that's good. The little boy lost his grip, whoops, landed on the back of a giraffe. Hooray! Oh, that's good. No, that's bad. The giraffe leaned over to drink some swampy water. And the little boy slid down its neck and fell into some quicksand next to an elephant. That's bad. No, that's good. The elephant grabbed the little boy with its trunk and lifted him up onto its shoulders. Whoosh! Oh, that's good.
No, that's bad.
That's bad. The elephant thumped bumpily along to a grassy plain where it stopped to feed. The little boy climbed down its trunk and woke up a daddy lion who was snoring in the grass. Oh, that's bad.
No, that's good.
That's good. When the lion saw the little boy, it purred and licked the little boy's face. Oh, that's good.
No, that's bad.
The little boy got all wet and sticky, yuck, and ran deeper into the jungle. It was as dark as night. Ooh. And the little boy was afraid. He sat down and started to cry. Oh, no, that's bad.
No, that's good.
His tears made such a big puddle that a stork came along to have a drink. Sip. It picked up the little boy with its beak. Whoosh! Oh, that's good.
No, that's bad.
That's bad. The stork flew the little boy across the dark, windy sky. Flap, flap. The little boy thought he would never see his parents again. Sob. That's bad.
No, that's good.
The stork knew where it was going. It took the little boy back to the zoo and dropped him into his parents' arms. Plop! His mother and father were so happy to see him, they gave him a big hug and a kiss. Oh, that's good. No, that's great.
Oh, that was a great story, Mara.
It sure was.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, Kino, I promised I would read a book at the Senior Center today, and they have a lot of newspapers to recycle there, so maybe I can ask them to help you, too.
Oh, whoop-dee-doo. Hey, well, listen, I don't want to keep you from your newspaper, so I'll just... Uh-oh.
What?
Excuse me.
Okay. See you tomorrow, Kino.
Oh, hi, Lucy.
Hello, Kino.
Cleaning your brushes?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, they must be pretty dirty.
Yeah, they're pretty dirty.
You should probably rinse them over and over again.
Maybe.
I'll bet you'll need every last drop of that water, won't you?
Well, I don't know if I'll have to use all of the water.
Well, if I were you, I would use all of it.
Something tells me that you want me to use up all this water. Is that
Well, yeah.
right? Why?
Well, I was just telling Mara about it. You see, my school library's having a recycling drive, and I promised to collect a whole lot of stuff.
Well, you did.
Well, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I promised.
And a promise is a promise, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, tell you what. I've already recycled this old milk jug because I use it to hold water for my painting.
Uh-huh.
But maybe a little later we can go around the neighborhood together and I'll help you collect some stuff, okay?
Oh, great. Thanks, Lucy.
Hi, Kino.
Hi, Kino. Come on over here.
Oh, hey. Hey, look who's here. Come on, Lucy.
Hi, Gordon. Hi,
Hi,
kids.
Lucy. How are you?
How are you?
Well, hi, Gordon. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Kino. How about you?
Oh, great.
I want you to meet a couple of friends of mine. This is Amelia over here to my left.
Oh,
And
hi, Amelia.
closest to you is Maddie.
Hey, Maddie, how you doing?
Fine.
Good to see you. See, Gordon,
Yeah.
I made a big, maybe too big promise to collect a whole lot of newspapers and plastic bottles and aluminum cans for my school library's recycling drive. Do you have any of those things?
Well, Kino, I think maybe I do. And right after I finish the story, I'll bring them over.
Oh, that'd be great. Thanks. Oh, what story?
The story that I'm going to read. Didn't you know about that?
No.
Oh, well, it's a story about somebody else who made a big, maybe too big a promise. Shall I start?
Oh, yeah. How about it, kids?
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, go
Story.
Oh, that's a spirit.
Yeah.
It's about Horton Hatches the Egg by Dr. Seuss. One of my favorite storytellers.
I feel much more comfortable with an arm around me.
Do you? Oh, well, that's
That's when
fine.
my dad usually does it.
Does it? Yeah, you got a good dad. Starts out with a big sigh. Sighed Maisie, the lazy bird hatching an egg. I'm tired and I'm bored and I've kinks in my leg from just sitting here day after day. It's work. Oh, how I hate it. I'd much rather play. I'd take a vacation, fly off for a rest. If I could find someone to sit on my nest. If I could find someone, I'd fly away free. Then Horton the elephant passed by her tree. Hello, called out the lazy bird, smiling her best. You've nothing to do, and I do need a rest. Would you like to sit on an egg in my nest? Well, the elephant laughed. What? All the silly things. I haven't feathers and I haven't wings. Me? On your egg? Why, that doesn't make sense. Your egg is so small, ma'am, and boy, I'm so immense. Tut-tut, answered Maisie. I know you're not small, but I'm sure you can do it. No trouble at all. Just sit on it softly. You're gentle and kind. Come, be a good fellow. I know you won't mind. Oh, I can, said the elephant. Please, begged the bird. I won't be gone long, sir. I give you my word. I'll hurry right back. Why, I'll never be missed. Very well, said the elephant. Since you insist. You want a vacation? You go fly off and take it, and I'll sit on your egg, and I'll try not to break it. I'll stay and be faithful. Mean what I say. Toodaloo, sang out Maisie, and fluttered away. The first thing to do, murmured Horton. Let's see. The first thing to do is to, I better prop up this tree and make it much stronger. That has to be done before I get on it, because I must weigh a ton. Then carefully and tenderly Gently, he crept up the trunk to the nest where that little egg slept. Then Horton the elephant smiled. Now that's that. And he sat, and he sat, and he sat. Oh, and he sat. And he sat all that day, and he kept the egg warm, and he sat all that night through a terrible storm. It poured, and it lightened, and it thundered, and it rumbled. Whew, this isn't much fun, the poor elephant grumbled. I wish he'd come back, 'cause I'm cold and I'm wet. I hope that Maisie Bird doesn't forget. But Maisie, by this time, was far beyond reach, enjoying the sunshine way off in Palm Beach and having such fun, such a wonderful rest. Decided she'd never go back to her nest. Oh. So Horton kept sitting there day after day, and soon it was autumn, and then the leaves blew away. Then came the winter, the snow and the sleet, and icicles hung from his trunk and his feet. And Horton kept sitting and said, with a sneeze, I'll stay on this egg. I won't let it freeze. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful. Why, 100%. So poor Horton sat there the whole winter through, and then came the springtime with troubles anew. His friends gathered round, and they shouted with glee, hey, look, Horton the elephant's up in the tree. And they taunted, and they teased him, and they yelled, how absurd! Old Horton the elephant! Ah, he thinks he's a bird. They laughed, and they laughed, and they all ran away. Oh, and Horton was lonely. Boy, he wanted to play. But he sat on the egg, and he continued to say, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. No matter what happens, this egg must be tended. Poor Horton's troubles were far, far from ended. For while Horton sat there, so faithful, so kind, 3 hunters came sneaking up softly behind. He heard the men's footsteps. He turned with a start. 3 rifles were aiming right straight at his heart. Did he run? He did not. Horton stayed on the nest. He held his head high, and he threw out his chest, and he looked at the hunters as much as to say, shoot if you must, but I won't run away. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful, 100%. But the men didn't shoot, much to Horton's surprise. They dropped their 3 guns, and they stared with wide eyes. Look, they shouted. Can such a thing be? An elephant sitting on top of a tree. It's strange. It's amazing. It's wonderful, new. Don't shoot him. We'll catch him. That's just what we'll do, and we'll take him live. And, why, he's terribly funny. We'll sell him back home to the circus for money. The first thing he knew, they had built a big wagon with ropes on the front for the pullers to drag on. And they dug up the tree, and they put it inside, with Horton so sad that he practically cried. We're off, the men shouted. And off they all went, with Horton unhappy. Oh, 100%. Up out of the jungle, up into the sky, up over the mountains 10,000 feet high, and down the mountains and down to the sea went the cart with the elephant, egg, nest, and tree. Then out of the wagon and onto the ship, and over the ocean, and oh, what a trip! Rolling and tossing and splashing the spray. And Horton said day after day after day, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. But oh, I am seasick. 100%. After bobbling around for 2 weeks like a cork, they landed at last in the town of New York. Hold ashore, the men shouted. Down with a lurch went Horton the elephant, still on his perch, tied onto a board that could just scarcely hold him. Boom! Horton landed, and then the men sold him. Sold to a circus. Then week after week, they showed him to people for 10 cents a peek. They took him to Boston, to Kalamazoo, Chicago, Weehawken, and Washington, too. To Dayton, Ohio, and to St. Paul, Minnesota. To Wichita, Kansas, and Drake, North Dakota. And everywhere thousands of folks flocked to see and laugh at the elephant up in a tree. Poor Horton grew sadder the further he went. But he said, as he sat in the hot, noisy tent, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. Then one day, the circus show happened to reach a town way down south, not so far from Palm Beach, and dawdling along way up high in the sky, who of all people should chance to fly by but the old good-for-nothing bird runaway Maisie, still on vacation and still just as lazy. And spying the flags in the tents just below, she sang out,
Oh, what fun! Why, I'll go to the show.
and she swooped from the clouds and through the open tent door.
Good gracious,
Gasped Maisie.
I've seen you before.
Poor Horton looked up with his face white as chalk, and he started to speak. But before he could talk, there rang out the noisiest, ear-splitting squeaks from the egg that he'd sat on for 51 weeks. A thumping, a bumping, a wild, alive scratching. My egg, shouted Horton. My egg? Oh, why, it's hatching.
Oh, whoa. But it's mine, screamed the bird when she heard the egg crack.
The work was all done. Now she wanted it back.
It's my egg.
She sputtered.
You stole it from me. Get off of my nest and get out of my tree.
Well, poor Horton backed down with a sad, heavy heart. But at that very instant, the egg burst apart. And out of the pieces of red and white shell from the egg that he'd sat on so long and so well, Horton the elephant saw something whiz. It had ears and a tail and a trunk just like his. People came shouting, oh, what's all this about? And they looked and they stared with their eyes popping out. And they cheered, and they cheered, and they cheered more and more. They'd never seen anything like it before. My goodness, my gracious. Oh, they shouted, my word. It's something brand new. It's an elephant bird. And it should be. It should be. It should be like that, because Horton was faithful. He sat, and he sat. He meant what he said, and he said what he meant. And they sent him home happy. 100%. What do you think about that?
Oh,
Great
boy.
story.
You like the story?
Me too.
Do you like it? Ah, that's neat.
Yeah, I love that story, Gordon.
I'm glad.
A baby elephant with wings.
Yeah.
Whoa, I've never seen one of those. How about you guys?
No.
No,
Not
Maddie?
even in the zoo.
Not even in the zoo. What's some of
No.
the crazy animals that you've seen? Huh?
Well, I haven't. Well, I've seen a bandicoot in an encyclopedia or the dictionary.
What's that again? A
What?
bandicoot? What does that look
Not at the zoo, but in a book.
like? But in a book.
A
Okay.
dictionary or an encyclopedia. And one of the books that my teacher was reading to me at school, I saw a turtle with a a hat, and a suitcase.
A turtle with a hat and a suitcase?
Wow.
That's unusual.
That is, a hat and a suitcase. They sort of carry their home right on their back, too, don't they?
Well, there was a bird with a cat face and dog legs.
A cat face and dog legs?
That's weird, all right.
Suppose he got along with himself very well? Huh?
It can fly, it can meow, and it can run like a dog.
Wow.
My word. You know, Kino, Horton Hatches the Egg has been a favorite of mine for a long time. I read it to my girls, and it's a story that she can read over and over again, I think. And I'm sure they're going to read it to their children. So I guess stories can be recyclable, too, can't they?
Yeah, they sure can, because you can hear them over and over and over, and they just seem to get better and better.
Oh.
So, do you think you're going to be able to keep your promise to collect all those cans and bottles and newspapers?
Well, hey, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. Especially if Gordon helps me out. And we're going to look around the neighborhood together, right, Lucy?
Right, Kino. I'm with you 100%.
Yeah. All it takes is a little stick-to-itiveness.
Stick to who do you what?
Stick-to-itiveness means sticking at the job. Keep doing it until you get the job done.
Oh, I get it. Just like Horton.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, let's not forget our story picks.
Ooh.
My first one is The Rain Babies, and it's the story of some very special visitors and their magical mother.
Oh, and here's one I really hope our school library will buy when the recycling drive's over. It's called Ragtime Tumpy. Tumpy was just as determined as Horton, and she became a famous dancer.
Oh, well, thank you, Gordon, for coming by today. Thank you, girls. And until the next story time,
Keep a story in your heart. Oh, and save your bottles and cans and newspapers, pals. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Today's Storytime books are That's Good, That's Bad by Marjorie Kyler, pictures by David Catrow, Horton Hatches the Egg by Dr. Seuss, The Rain Babies by Laura Krauss-Melmed, illustrated by Jim LaMarche, and Ragtime Tumpy, written by Alan Schroeder, paintings by Bernie Fuchs. You can find these and other books at your local library.
Major funding for Storytime is made possible by a grant from Helen and Peter Bain, so that families everywhere can share the joy of reading with their children. Additional funding is provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, by the annual financial support from viewers like you, and by the National Endowment for Children's Educational Television. Storytime is a production of KCET Los Angeles.